So, I'm making video number 3. I have a cold right now, and I guess welcome back to the viewers that I had on the other video called Labyrinthitis for the second time. Help me. So, after a year has passed, it was a year and a month ago when I posted that video that I got labyrinthitis again for the second time. I that was November 2015, and it's now December 2016, and a similar thing happened again. I went to LA for work from Toronto. I felt a little nauseated on the car ride there, like to the airport, but I was just like, it's probably nothing. It's just ever since I got labyrinthitis the very first time, which was 5 years ago, I've always kind of had to deal with a little bit of car sickness every now and then, or a little bit of like anytime I'm in a situation like that, I always feel a little ill, but it doesn't last long. So sometimes, most of the time, I just think it's sugar levels or something like that. Anyway, so I get into the airplane, and I'm fine. I get to LA, get to the Christmas party, have a couple drinks with my colleagues. And then the next day, obviously, like, I'm not feeling 100% because I had a couple drinks, Christmas party. But then Sunday, so that was the Friday night. Saturday, I took it easy, just hung out at the hotel. Maybe ate a little too much Saturday. But then my flight was to come back home Sunday morning. I got back home around Sunday, 7 p.m. Toronto time, EST. And I felt like, I still kind of felt like not just nauseated, but I just felt a little hazy, like brain fog. So I thought, you know what, I took a flight basically on Friday and then a flight back home on Sunday, so obviously it's too much flying, within 48 hours. So I slept it off. But now it's Thursday, and guess what? Each day, I should back up. I also woke up, when I got back in, I woke up Monday morning with a cold. Like, my throat was hurting a bit. And then now today's Thursday, and now my entire face is congested, and my symptoms of labyrinthitis are back again.
Still trying to keep your head in one spot. Now remember, this might make you a little dizzy,
and it sucks so much because there's absolutely no answers.
Then looking at one corner and back down to the other corner, going up and down, and then the opposite corner.
So I've had all the caloric testing and seeing ENTs, and they still don't have a diagnosis. It's like, okay, labyrinthitis, okay, well, it comes. But I guess I'm looking to see if anybody else has had it like the way I'm getting it. I don't think it's normal. I see so many videos online where people they'll get it in episodes. Like my last video I mentioned, they'll get it for like maybe a couple hours, 24 hours of dizzy vertigo. And the last 2 times that I had it, mine was like 3 full months of being stuck on this couch, of the world around you moving, and not like in a spinning, spinning, oh my god, get a vomit way, but in a everything, my depth perception, like you move your head, put it down, all that stuff. It doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't know, like the frame on the wall, for example. I can look at it and I can see it move really fast. But at the same time, and I turn my head back, it looks like, well, all of a sudden the wall's right there. Like, as if I didn't know the wall's right there, but I know it's right there. But, you know what I mean? Your eyes, it's almost like they're constantly playing tricks with you. Especially when you're trying to do, like, you know, put the dishes away and do that and that. It's like, all of a sudden you have to stop for a second and be like, holy shit. Like, too many things are moving at once. And, at this point, I'm just wondering, like, does anybody have any recommendations in, like, I live in Canada, about somebody who you see that actually specializes in understanding what's going on with, like, the inner ear? Like, is it due to the fact that my body gets a cold once a year, and, you know, a week later I ended up getting labyrinthitis both times. In this case, I have it during the cold. Is it that I happened to get off an airplane a couple days prior to when it started? Is it that I happen each time to have a couple of drinks beforehand? Mind you, see, these things all make sense because they're all somehow connected, right? With that being said, I've also been asked by a lot of doctors, which I mentioned in my last video, you know, do you use drugs or alcohol? No, I mean, obviously, for alcohol, like Christmas event, had a couple. Drugs, no, like, you know, I'm not a teenager anymore. Even when I was a teenager, I was kind of like the dork that didn't do the drugs. But regardless, I need to find some sort of answer. I don't want to live like this anymore. Every doctor I see, just either they really don't know, and they say, oh, it's, you know, it'll go away, or honestly, it seems like they just don't care. And at this point, I need someone that cares, someone that understands, because I feel like I'm going nuts by myself. And I can feel something's not right. I don't have the ringing as much as I did last time, but I can, you know, I can feel it. I can feel something. Sorry, guys. I'm just losing faith in this whole process of give it time. Well, the thing is, I've given it 5 years of my life, and mine's a constant thing when I get it. It's not a couple hours here and a couple hours there. Mine is the last 2 times I got it for 3 months straight. 3 months straight of living in this warped reality that seems like a video game, you know? And nobody around you understands, so you don't really talk about it too much because it almost sounds like you're being dramatic. You know, people are like, what are you talking about? And then the doctors, they're actually the worst ones, because they have you chasing your own tail, and for nothing, for not even a diagnosis. Some will say, well, maybe it's Meniere's. I think it's Meniere's. And others are like, it's labyrinthitis. And then some will say, oh, it's right-sided vestibular neuritis. But the problem is, there's no actual diagnosis. And there's no, I get, you know, for each one of those things that they mentioned, there's no cure, as they say. But why not at least give an accurate diagnosis? Like, can't you at least do that? So for anyone, again, that's been living with labyrinthitis, or at this point Meniere's disease or vestibular neuritis, and you're in Canada, or hell, at this point, even if you're in the US and you know somebody that really specializes in it, please send me the information, because at this point I'm desperate for answers.